Here we are again with Kathy, and we're making a garden pan bread.
It's really good, Whitney. This is a cornbread type of recipe, so let's get started.
All right.
I have a cup of cornmeal.
Okay.
I have a cup of all-purpose flour, some baking soda, and just a dash of salt.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to mix all of our dry ingredients together.
Easy enough.
It's real easy. Okay, and then we have another bowl that we're going to mix our wet ingredients in.
Okay.
In our wet ingredients, we have a cup of water. I'm going to use a couple of eggs. And then I have 3/4 cup of pumpkin.
All right.
And the pumpkin in this recipe, Whitney, it is replacing the oil, so it's saving us a whole lot on our fat grams.
That's great. And that's a good example of how you can use pureed fruits or vegetables to substitute for part or all of the fat in a recipe. Really helps to cut back and add some nutrition. We're adding some beta carotene with the pumpkin, which is converted in the body to vitamin A, so that's very helpful there.
So it's good all the way around.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're mixing our wet ingredients into our dry. Okay, we're just going to kind of fold this in together. Just want to mix it until it all is moistened. We don't want to over-mix it. It'll tend to get kind of dense.
Sure.
All right. And I have some raisins, and you know, Whitney, you could use any kind of dried fruit in this.
Oh, okay.
All kinds of things would work well. I was
Great.
thinking about maybe some cranberries. Wouldn't that be good?
Ooh, that would be good.
Also have some walnuts.
And the walnuts are a good source of not only vitamin E, but also a plant source of fat. So it's an unsaturated, heart-healthy fat.
And we have pecan trees on our land, so I'm thinking pecans would go real well.
Ooh, that would go well too. And you know, you could leave the nuts out if you wanted to cut back on the total fat, though the kind of fat they add is heart-healthy. So
great idea. So I have a baking dish here, and I've sprayed it with a little bit of a nonstick vegetable spray, and I'm going to go ahead and put my cornbread mixture in now.
All right. And Kathy, what we've done is with the trans fats, those are fats that at one time were unsaturated fats. They come from a plant source, but we have actually hydrogenated them and made them solid and just as heart harmful as the saturated fat. So they fall into that solid fat category. So some examples of trans fat would be like shortening or margarine. But what we can do is substitute in our recipes with the liquid or the plant source fats, like the oils, to make it more heart healthy.
Those are some great tips, Whitney. So I'm going to go ahead and put our garden pan bread in the oven now, and I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees. Okay. We're going to let that cook for about 30 minutes, and it's going to taste really good.
Sounds great.
Okay, Whitney, we've taken our bread out of the oven, and doesn't it look delicious?
It looks great. I hope I get to try a piece. You know, we've been talking a lot about the oils group with these recipes, and just some key points to remember. When you're choosing fats, try to choose fats that are plant source, liquid fats, or the unsaturated fats, rather than the solid fats like saturated fat and trans fat. That way you're choosing things that are much more heart healthy overall. So that's something important to remember. We also want to try to choose low fat or fat-free products when we can to cut back on our fat, because a lot of people really get more fat than they actually need in the diet, which can be a concern because, as we said before, fat is very calorie dense, so those calories can add up quickly. So go low fat when you can, and really look at the types of fat that you're choosing to be able to improve and have a more healthy diet. So those are some key points from the oils group that we talked about today.